Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Dan Cardalicchio. I am here with my co-host, the infamous Naomi Damask. Naomi, how are you today? Welcome to Wellness Wednesday worldwide. Every Wednesday around this time, we get on and we discuss different health topics. How are you today?
I am doing well, Dan, despite the fact that I dropped my phone in my bathtub today. It
And
was one of those days that I was in there, I listened to some music, was meditating, got out of my tub, was drying off, knew we had to get on here, and I reached across in the windowsill and flop, went down my phone.
and you know what? It's happened to me and it's happened to all of us. And everything that's on these cell phones, if you don't have it backed up, you have a problem, correct?
Yeah, and mine isn't backing up right now, so I'm hoping I don't have a big problem.
Yeah,
So.
my wife bought me a real quick story. My wife bought me this plastic thingamajig, if you will. I could put my cell phone in there. I could put a couple of credit cards, some money, and I can bring it with me to the beach because
Yeah.
if high tide comes in and I'm a beach person, I like to sit by the water. And there are many cell phones of mine that are sitting somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. And if I don't back it up, I'm like, oh, geez, I needed this and I needed that. My wife, as a matter of fact, I just got a notification to back up. So I'll do that later, maybe.
Well, hey, it's all these reminders, which reminds me of the topic we are going to talk about today.
Tell me, what do you want to talk about today?
I want to talk about healthy aging because did you know that the month of September is actually the healthy aging month? I did not know this until a few days ago. Someone brought it to my attention.
I did not know that it is healthy aging, and it's very important, healthy aging. We want to avoid these chronic lifestyle diseases, and if we have healthy aging, we can do this. So tell me a little bit about healthy aging, Naomi.
Well, I think for the most part, people think of wrinkles as just the aging factor, when healthy aging has so much more to do than just wrinkles, Dan. And,
Right,
there's so many things that we need to be looking at and doing, starting with always our food. Are we eating
right,
whole foods? Are we eating enough fiber? Those
right,
things are key for our diet. Is the food
right,
clean? So like looking at your food sources, because whatever you're putting in is going to start to affect the cells in your body. And either they're going to start to break down a lot faster. And that's usually what happens. Like think about those people that you've seen that have been smoking cigarettes. They look a
oh
lot
yes.
older than that they really are. You can tell because they've done damage. But can you reverse some of that? Absolutely. You and I
Yes,
both
you
know
can.
that. So it's never too late. And I think, you know, we are both approaching our second half of our life, as I would like to say. I know you think I'm still in my 20s, and so I will run with that.
I did say earlier to Naomi that when she said we're in the second part of our life, I said, Naomi, aren't you in your 20s? And I think I'm in my early
That's
30s.
right. And but
It's
we are living that lifestyle, Dan, that allows us to feel like that. And I think that's really important. Um, and like right now I'm doing this challenge. I'm always about doing challenges. And
mhm.
so some of my other biohacker friends on Instagram, we are doing a squat challenge for the month of September.
Yes, I've seen this before.
Yeah, and it's for me, it really hit home because my dad, he's in his late 80s, and he was saying, "Oh, I'm having a little bit more difficult getting up out of my chair."
Right,
And I stopped to think, I'm like, I don't want to ever be like that. I want to
right,
go out. When I go out, I just want to be going out still feeling good. And I think that's the biggest thing is I want people to age slowly, but
mhm,
also healthy. And I think we
right,
can do these things. They go hand in hand.
right. And you and I have discussed this where even though we have genetics, some of these genetics can be manipulated because we're not
Hmm.
our genetics 100% all the way. And you and I are living proof of that. I mean, both of us can say that we're living proof of that. And it's important to take the considerations of eating clean and eating healthy. And not only just that, but there's so much other things that you could do, and we'll discuss those. You mentioned the word eating clean, and so many people hear this, eating clean. Tell me, explain a little bit more. What is eating clean?
In my eyes, eating clean is not eating processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to the basics of eating real food, the food that actually takes us time to probably do a little prepping.
Right.
Yesterday, I did a quick little Instagram video showing people like how quickly and easy it is to eat clean. So I took a bunch of leftovers that I had in the refrigerator of like salad prepping stuff. And it took me 2 seconds to put it together. I had my own homemade salad dressing stored in a mason jar, Dan, which I think is really important how we store our foods. And making sure the oils that I was using is not the vegetable oils. If I'm making the salad dressings, not the canola oils, because those are creating higher inflammation in our body, creating more omega-6s. And I think that's, eating clean means eating real foods, not from a box.
Yes. And it's difficult because I'm on the cusp of having a teenager. You have teenagers, and it's easy for them to go to get some pizza. They're using the corn oil and so forth and so on. It's quick, it's easy. All of their friends are going there, and it's really it's really a habit that we want our listeners to develop, where they're eating cleaner. And I did see that, by the way, on Instagram yesterday, and I liked it. If you noticed, and I think I may have even commented on that. So eating clean is very important, and taking in. You know what? I think that this is overlooked for, aging well, healthy aging. Water, drinking water is extremely important. Hydration. We said that. This is more than just healthy skin and having that glow and looking good, but water also helps out with that. But drinking enough water, helps out with healthy aging. Am I correct in saying that?
Absolutely. Actually, I wrote that down in my little notes, was hydration is key. And, I think the reminder for people is to grab that glass of water the first thing in the morning. Too many people reach for the cup of Joe in the morning to kickstart your day.
Right.
And that's going to dehydrate you anymore. And after resting, you want to actually flush all those toxins out of your body, because sleep is really important. But so you want to rehydrate in the morning and making sure you do that. And I think many people are not drinking enough water. They're too busy drinking everything else. And our bodies are made of water. And that's what really, and making sure it's filtered water, Dan. I think that's the other thing.
That was my next question. It should be filtered. You should have a filtration system. And I'm sure you have your filtration system like I have my filtration system. And because when we change the filters, you can see the contaminants that you have. And I have a big glass of water, and I put either a lemon or a lime in there, generally a lemon. And I like that in the morning. It kind of kickstarts my day, if you will. That's part of my daily routine. And you want to drink about 64 ounces of water per day?
Well, I've heard rule of thumb is take your body weight and divide it in half. And that's pretty much how many ounces you're supposed to be drinking. I don't know.
Right. We do have somebody on Andrea Mars, and she has asked a question. We're getting popular now. Okay. Just to let you know, I like it. Andrea has asked, which filtration systems do you use? So which one do you use?
So we have well water where we live. And so we went back and forth. We actually put the Culligan system into our household. There's different systems that you can actually do on your countertop.
Right.
What is it? The one that's called the Berkeley system. That's
the Berkeley system. Correct. Correct. You don't have to go out and you don't have to buy a system that's, $5,000.
No.
For your house. It's, it's in your shower and all that. You could buy something as simple, Andrea, as a Brita system, and you can put it on your faucet and so forth, and it'll do nice, and it'll help you out a lot. So hydration is extremely important.
Sleep. I don't think sleep is so important. That is like the number one thing I talk about with people. And if you're not sleeping well, that's where we have to start to address things and start
Right.
to really look at, why are you not sleeping well? Is it
Right.
because of your diet? Is it because of too much light filtrating into your bedroom? Are you watching TV before you go to bed? Are you
Right.
reading on your Kindle? All these things that are going to disrupt
Right.
the melatonin and the sleep in your body. I think you need to look at that. Another great area is staying connected. They say relationships are really important,
Yes.
and loneliness is equivalent to smoking like a pack of cigarettes. So staying connected, being active. I think that's the reason why people love joining clubs. That's the reason why people, join the bridge club when they're older. I don't even know,
Right.
do people still play bridge?
I don't know. However, I am approaching that age, Naomi, where I may be invited to join a bridge club. I don't think I'm going to say yes, though.
Okay, so I have to tell you this quick little story because this is actually funny. It's funny, but not funny. One of my friend's parents had passed away, and we were at the church for the mass, and all the old ladies were sitting around us. And the next thing I know, the one says to her friend, "Now that so-and-so just passed away, we got room in the bridge club. Are you in?" And she goes, "And I need to know it because people are jockeying for this position." I'm like, the woman had not even been put into the ground and they're already talking. But then they started laughing. They're like, she would want this. I mean, because that was their livelihood. But that
Right.
was the thing. It's being connected, being a part of something bigger. And
Right.
I think we all want that. So
I think that's a great thing, staying connected. I think that helps out from a physical, aspect, mental, emotional aspect, and I think
mhm.
that's extremely important to have that. And what's something interesting is that you mentioned sleep. So I was on a podcast with the Dr. Marcello this week, and he's PhD, human performance. His PhDs in sports nutrition. He's working with special operations, high level athlete, and so forth. And he's asking me a bunch of questions. And I decided to ask him a question. What's the most important aspect of nutrition? And he said, it's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It is sleep. It is sleep. And then we got into the conversation of aging better because of sleep.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell when I haven't been sleeping. I just feel like I look older. I mean, you do. You physically look
Right.
older.
Mentally you're not as sharp. You're sluggish. Physically you're sluggish. And when I go to do my 3 to 4 mile run, miles run, I just don't have the same. I don't have that same energy. Not that I have the same energy when I was 21, but I'm trying, and that's why I want to age well.
Well, that's why you and I are going to talk about biohacking later on, because that is the secret sauce right there.
All right. I like the biohacking.
Yeah. And another great thing is cold showers. I'm
Yes.
big about that. That's going to be my next challenge that I'm doing here next month, is the cold shower challenge, because it's so good for your lymphatic system and so good for targeting that visceral fat as well.
Right. And it also helps bring down the inflammation. So for somebody like me who likes to remain active, pushing 60 years old, taking that cold shower after working out helps bring down that inflammation, which is always very good. So, I like that. So are you going to be jumping in a lake, or are you going to be taking cold showers? Now, that's the question.
Well, you know what? I just do the showers for now. I would
Okay.
like to start to do more of the lake stuff here in Minnesota. It's becoming quite the thing. They have the holes that people will drill
Yes.
in the middle of winter here, and really
Yes.
are getting into it. I think it's a thing. I mean, it makes sense. Think about the Finnish people. They would go sit in their sauna, Dan, then
Yes.
run out, jump in that cold lake, and get back in the sauna. And I hope that when you're running, you're breaking a sweat, because that's the other thing, is you want to properly detox.
Yes. I'm always breaking a sweat, and especially because my son is with me, and he's really just destroying me when we run, Naomi. And so I'm trying to keep up with him, and so it's pretty intense, the workouts that we do. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Yes, you absolutely must sweat. What else can you do for healthy aging?
What is like a little Tai Chi?
Do you like to do Tai Chi? Have you done this before?
I've done some movement stuff. I actually don't know if it's called Tai Chi, what I
But
like to
there's a
do.
lot of but there's a lot of different aspects of that where you
Yeah.
can do some Tai Chi. I've read some research studies. It helps lower blood pressure. It helps improve cognition and so forth. So yes, I think that's important. I do Taekwondo, so I like that. I do the sparring, but just the movements and the control of your body. Here I am. I'm doing Naomi.
You're
I'm
gonna do the
doing
wax on, wax
yeah,
off.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wax on, wax off, and all that sort of good stuff. Yeah. So I am really into, I'm really into, doing that also. What else can we add on to our list for healthy aging?
Practice prevention. So that means proper screenings. I think that's really important is
Right.
making sure you're doing your blood work, looking at those different things on an annual
Yes.
basis. Also just be preventative in your
Right.
lifestyle that you're leading. Because I think that's the whole thing is people will ask a lot of times, like, what diet are you on? What are you doing? And for me, it's not a diet per se. It's more of a living a preventative lifestyle.
I think that's the take home from today's discussion is prevention in order to age well. Prevention is very important, and there's no harm in going and getting some type of blood test or any type of diagnostic test, right? In order to help you, in order to help ourselves out. You're a breast cancer thriver, you
Hmm.
know, and I'm the heart attack thriver. That's what I'm going to say from here on in. I like that. I'm sorry, I'm going to steal that from you. And
Go
and
ahead.
as long as it's okay with you, Naomi. And we can, if we knew what we know today, it would have been a lot better. And you could talk about diet, right? You can, some of the vitamins and minerals that you can is like vitamin A is important. You want those dark green leafy vegetables. Those are very important. Vitamin C is very important that you can take in, through different types of fruits and stuff, omega-3 fatty acids. So if you have a diet that has that in along with vitamin D, you can take some steps in the right direction.
Yeah, and that's getting outside in nature, Dan. I think too many times people
Oh,
are living inside and not getting the natural sunlight. And so we want to source as much as we can from our food or from our environment.
right,
Um, I'm not big about a lot of supplementation. I do things that are activators that will help activate my own body's pathways, which I
right,
think are important, but I don't think people know that vitamin D, you also have to have magnesium. So then and zinc right now is really important. So like yesterday when I made my salad, I put raw sprouted pumpkin seeds because that's a
right.
great source of zinc as well as magnesium. And so those are the things, like just start to add those little things. Hemp hearts, I threw those on there.
Hmm.
They're like little, but they're so powerful.
Right.
Chia seeds. It's all these things that we can add in and layer in.
Yes.
And I think once you start getting into these habits and making them convenient and easy is key in order to have a healthy lifestyle. So like on Sunday, I know a lot of people are good about food prepping. Prep your
Yes.
stuff ahead of time. Because if I would have not ate what I ate yesterday, if I had not prepped it all, I would have just grabbed something else, because I was in a hurry. But it was all chopped up.
Right.
Took 2 seconds. So it's just taking some time to be 2 steps ahead of your game.
And I agree. And I think that when a lot of people, when they're thinking about aging well and they're talking about their nutrition and their diet, they want to supplement all the time. But you can't out supplement a poor diet,
Mm-mm.
So, for our listeners today, it's a situation where, you have to eat well. You want to age well, you have to eat well. You can drink your water, be connected. All of, everything that we're discussing today, which is great information.
And it's, and I always try to reach for organic foods,
Yes.
grass-fed food, because that's the other thing is because you're eating whatever that animal was eating.
Right.
So if that animal was grain-fed, of course you're going to get higher inflammations coming from them. So looking
Right,
for
because
the trans fat.
they're eating a lot of grains that are fortified with the omega-6s, and there's a lot of inflammatory situations. There's insecticides, there's pesticides, and all of that we're going to be ingesting, when we eat. And these are concepts that have been around for a while, and our job is to make sure that individuals understand the difference and why they should be eating grass-fed beef.
Yep.
Or why they should be eating, wild fish as opposed to farm-raised fish. That's not where we want to lie.
Nope.
Yeah.
So it doesn't cost much more anymore. Dan, like you can go to places from Costco has a great organic selection. Aldi's, I don't know, do you guys have Aldi's out there?
Yes, we do.
So, and Aldi's is now really stepping up their game. Farmers markets right now, hit up the local farmers markets. You can get a CP, what is it? CPS, is that it?
Yes.
CPA. What is it?
I think it's CPS.
CPS, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways. Grow your own garden. I mean,
Right. And you know what's interesting about this? I had a patient today that was, oh my goodness, this is going to cost me so much money. But then I do this every now and again, and I did this today, and it's one of those situations where, if you were to put side by side the amount of money that you're spending on the foods that you're eating today and what you're going to do to change, it's pennies on the dollar. That's different. It's not that different. It's basically same or similar when it comes to the, and I love it that your daughter walked in, because if I was home right now, Naomi, my son, if he was home, would be just walking in with the dog, by the way, and saying, "Oh, look how cute the dog is! Look how cute Rocky is!" So it's all good.
I'm hiding out in the butler pantry. One's in the office because they're both at home today, and so yeah. And the one's actually sent me a message. There's nothing to eat in the house. I'm going to DoorDash food, and this goes to the point of there's nothing to eat that she wants to eat, but there's plenty of food.
There's plenty of food. So you know what? It's really the same amount of money. It's not that much of a difference. You're just displacing the dollar amounts. And I think that's important for, our listeners to understand.
It is. And you know what? You're going to pay for it one way or the other, Dan. If you don't take care of your health now, you will pay for it later on. And I tell people that all the time. We had great insurance, but what it cost us the year that I was diagnosed was through the roof. And so you're going to end up paying for it one way. And now it's like, all right, so I buy, like my husband will say, how much are those eggs you're buying? And $6, and some people are like, you spend $6 on a dozen of eggs. And I'm like, I do. Or someone can go to, Starbucks and buy $6 coffee and they think nothing of that. But
they
now
think nothing of the sugar and the creams and the caffeine and everything that's in there, the insecticides, the pesticides that are in the caffeine beans in order to, the coffee beans in order to make. So, again, you're right. There was that commercial growing up, you can pay me now or you can pay me later.
Yeah. So I just know that this industry is not going away, Dan. The aging industry, I think I read the other day that they're thinking it'll be about 53 billion, which of the US is about 14 billion. And that is just going to be growing. They're saying by 2027, it's going to be like an $84 billion industry.
Well, you know what? People want to be healthy. They want to age well. They don't want to have these chronic lifestyle diseases. They don't want to have to go through what you and I went through. They don't want to have to go through what parents and grandparents, because they ignored or they didn't know anything about this. So they want to be healthier. I want to be around. I'm 58. I have a son that's about to turn 13. I want to see him play hockey. I want to see him graduate. I want to see him get married and perhaps have you know, some grandchildren in there. Oh my God, I'm sweating by saying that.
Not too early.
Oh geez. Oh geez. So,
Yeah. Nope.
so
And I agree. Like my whole thing is my father used to be an amazing water skier. He actually created one of the first pairs of water skis, did instructions. I mean, he was ahead of his time. And he said, I would give anything to water ski again.
right.
And I'm thinking to myself, Dad, if you would have kept up with a healthy lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
you would have been able to get back out on those water skis. It might not be slaloming, but he could have still got out on
Mm-hmm.
two and done the things. And that's my whole thing is we're a big downhill skiing family. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to continue to be able to ski in my 80s. And I love seeing that when I'm out on the slopes and I see people in their 80s and they're active. And I think that's what we should be doing is let's not like all of a sudden chalk it up and say, oh, we're done. Like, let's just go out being active. So movement is key, people. Move those bodies.
Move your body. And a friend of mine sent me a video of a woman who's 81 years old that she has a certified strength and conditioning specialist. She has a facility in Florida, and there's an 81-year-old woman on parallel bars that they do for gymnastics, and she was rocking the dips and different types of activities. And I was like, wow, I want to be able to do that when I'm in my 80s. You know, and I always say this, Naomi, if you were to put a picture of my father and I have a picture of my father in my office, and I put the picture up and I say, this is my father when he was 58 years old. This is me now at the age of 58. And you can see the noticeable difference. And we use that as an educational tool in order to age well. My father's no longer here. I mean, he passed when he was 71 years old, way too young, and I'm 13 years from that. So that's just a hop and a skip when it comes to a lifetime span. And you know, you want to age well, everybody. You really want to age well.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to discuss on aging well?
Just reduce your stress, people. Reduce stress. And we can all do that. We all have choices to make. There's the physical stressors that we can say no to in our body, like in our life. And I think that's just being mindful of where we're spending our time. And there's always going to be some stressors that are there. So then it's having tools on how to work through those, through meditation, through journaling. You know, if it's sitting in front, I have one of those red lights. I sit in front of my red light. You know, I have an acupuncture mat type thing that I stand on and lay on. I just think there's so many things we can do to reduce stress that we will always have stress in our lives. It's how we manage it.
Is how we manage the stressors that come along, because life sometimes can be extremely stressful, right?
Yes.
No doubt.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it.
All right.
We're going to age well. We're going to be seeing each other when we're, 100.
When we're 100 years old, we're going to celebrate our 1 billionth show on Wellness Wednesday worldwide. So I think that is our goal right now. So I like that.
I love it. I love it, Dan. Well,
all
until next week. And I would love to hear what people would love to hear more about.
Yeah, so if you want to hear about anything, put it in the comments section below, and we'll be more than happy to discuss any topics you want. So everybody have a great week. Age well. Naomi, had a great time again today. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Dan.
All right, and we'll see everybody next week. Take care.